Flosstube. This is Danielle with Love and Stitchin'. Welcome back to Flossmas episode 5. Today is Wednesday. No, it's not. It's Tuesday. Normally I would be on Wednesday, but it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. It will probably not be uploaded until Wednesday, however. But I ended up with a free house today. No one is home, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to go ahead and film the 5th annual Ornament Finishing Parade. I do have 2 larger Christmas finishes that I'm going to share as well, but these are mostly ornaments in the parade today, and not nearly as many as I have had in the past. Next year I need to definitely stitch more ornaments and get them done on time. So I still have some that are in the works, but just not done. And my son told me the other night, he said, "You haven't finished the girls' ornaments yet?" I said, "No." And he said, "I need to stop working on my Advent stitching and work on those ornaments." He's probably not wrong. Out of the mouth of babes, I tell you. But anyway, so it has been since Friday that I was here. So our weekend on Friday night, we did our annual, which is my tradition for today, which I kind of previewed already in my last video. But our annual Polar Express and hot cocoa with pop-up. So my dad started this tradition with the kids 5 or 6 years ago, I guess now, or maybe 7 years ago. So my son, I think my son was 6 months old when we first started it. And so he brought the grandkids over. He set up a movie. It's been in different locations. He had it in the basement where his kind of theater, home theater was. But he sets it up. He has hot chocolate for the kids, and they watch the movie Polar Express. So this year he set up a projector screen in the living room. So it was a large screen. He brought in extra speakers. So it was extra loud. My 3-year-old kind of got nervous in the beginning because you got the loud train that comes in the beginning, and she jumped into Pop-Up's lap and sat with him throughout the whole movie. They took an intermission and got the hot chocolate, drank that, and then they went back to the movie and finished it up. So that was really fun. While they were doing that, my mom and I were crafting. So I finished the felt candy canes. So I finished those. I'll try to insert a picture here of the finished product that shipped out yesterday to its recipients. So those are out the door, which is great. They're supposed to be in, they're going to Colorado. So they should be there Friday, I think. So by Christmas. So not too bad. So even though I feel like I'm late, I try to ship by the beginning of December. They at least made it to their destination. But with that, Nicole Spoor had on her Flossmas or Vlogmas videos, she had shared these keychains, but she's using them as zipper pulls or ornaments. And so I had all the things that I needed except for the twine. So I got the twine delivered, or part of my grocery pickup order, I think. And then my mom had the Snowman buttons, and I had the letter, not buttons, but charms or whatever. So I'm gonna show you what we made. So this is the first one that I did. This is the one that my mom had. She had the snowman pieces. And then I already had all of these because of different things that I've done with crafting. So this is the first one. And then this is a gift, I need to go that way, sorry, that I am going to give to my sister-in-law who loves nutcrackers. And then I made this one for myself, for Santa. I did do a train one, but I'm guessing my daughter put it on the tree for my husband. So it's somewhere, I don't know where it says train on it. I do want to do more of these though, and get some other of the buttons or beads, that's what they're called, that you can get on Amazon and do different like shapes and things like that. So I want to do more. These are so fast and so fun. So then the kids the next day, they wanted to do some. So over the weekend, I let them make a couple of their own, which they are featured in this video. So we did film their finishes, or I should say my son did his cross stitch finishes, and then my daughter comes on at the end and shares her bead finish that she did. So I'm gonna play that after I go through my finishes, and then I will share that video. So that's what my mom and I did. And then she helped me, which I'll share in my whips, figure out the blanket stitch better for the ornaments that I'm doing, the hand print ornaments. So I've been working on that. Let's see. Saturday was pretty chill, which was good. We kind of got some Christmas presents done around the house that we needed to finish up. And then Sunday was our marathon day where it was grocery pickup. So my daughter came with me on that, which normally she doesn't, but she wanted to come with me. So we got some bonding time. But of course, I had done our grocery pickup order. We had to go into a couple stores, but then the pickup order I did at the wrong Walmart. So I get to the Walmart that's in our town, and it says that I'm not there when I'm trying to check in. I was like, but I'm here. And then I realized that I had looked something up at a Walmart previously, and it selected that store when I did my pickup. So she and I got to hightail it about 15, 20 minutes away to the other Walmart and then come back. Worst day that could probably happen because we had a very tight schedule. So we get home. I had to get her hair done, her nails. She wanted her nails Christmassy, so I did her nails. So we did all of that. Got her in her costume because she had a Christmas dance performance at the mall. We tried to leave early enough to not deal with mall traffic, or at least have time to deal with it. And we did not. Thankfully, she was not late because she was like the 10th dance to go on. So we got there right as like the first or second dance was starting. So we had time. She did her performance. It was so cute and so fun. She's done ballet in the past, but this was a different kind of dance that she's taking through a program that's coming to her school after schools and doing a dance class. And it was just a lot of fun. She knew all the steps and just did great. It was fun. So we did that. Then we hightailed it to a party for a little friend of hers. It was such a cute little party. It was a horse-themed party. They got to adopt these little horses on their way out. That was like the take gift for the kids, and that was really cute. And they decorated straw hats. Even my son jumped in on that and decorated a hat, and it was great. They had so much fun. Then we already had them. We had to change my daughter when we got there from her costume. We put them into their shirts that they needed for their Christmas performance that night. They missed most of the rehearsal, maybe an hour and a half. They got there an hour before the performance. And it was a musical, a Christmas, singing Christmas with a church choir that they were performing. So we got them there, dropped them off. My husband and I came home with the 3-year-old, got things unloaded from the car, and then we went to the performance. It was about an hour and a half of singing. They were only up on stage for like the beginning 15 minutes and the ending 15 minutes maybe, so that hour in between they weren't. So they had a place to sit. But they did great. It was fun, and then we got home and had pizza and went to bed because it was like 7:45 at that point, 8 o'clock. And this week is all of the Christmas parties for the kids. They have a half day on Friday, and we did have gymnastics last night, but none of the other evening activities are this week, which is great. So tonight we're going to go look at some Christmas lights, I think. I am still working this week, so I've got meetings every night after they go to bed. But then next week I won't have meetings in the evening, which will be nice. My husband and I have done some Christmas wrapping parties. So we're trying to get all the Christmas presents wrapped. I don't even know if we're halfway there yet with the 2 nights that we've done so far. And this is like my family, sister, cousin, the kids, my parents, aunt, uncle, like all the gifts that we're trying to get done. So that's what we're kind of up to. All right, so for my previous finishes today, I wanted to showcase my Christmas trees. So I have done a couple videos. I only was able to get 4 of the trees. I still have 1 tree that it's up high. It is on the top of the built-in cabinets that my husband did. And those are my ornaments that I've already shown already, that were the Pinker and Pumpkin farmhouse ones. And it is like the centerpiece of our village, which goes up there. So that one I didn't get to video because it's high up and I didn't have a ladder. But I did video the other one. So I'm going to pause here and play some music and showcase all of the majority of the ornaments that are on my other 1, 2, 4 trees. right, so those are my trees. I love decorating them and filling them up, and there is a little bit of room left before I'm gonna need another tree, probably. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I could have more trees. I told someone that I think I have 7 trees in my house, and actually it might be 8 because my kids each have a tree in their rooms as well. And they just kind of looked at me like I had 5 heads. And I was like, no, I have 8 trees is what I actually have. And it's great. It's very Christmassy and I love it. But let's get into my whips before we go over the finishing parade, which is coming up next. So for the 2 things that I've been working on is my Advent sale. So obviously with everything that was happening this weekend, there's not been a ton of stitching, but I am still working on this. I finished day 13 today, which technically today's 16. So I guess I've got 3 more days to do. I don't know if that's gonna get done today. I started on day 14, but you know. So what have I done since my last update? I have done days 11, 12, and 13, I think. So I got 3 more days done at least. And I am stitching this. So this is Warm Winter Winters by Pansy Patch Stitchery on 36 count Color and Cotton Drizzle, which was from the March 2024 fabric of the month. And that is cutting off some of the stitching. So we're gonna open this up now that I've gotten a little bit further away, further down the line. All right, so this is where I'm at so far. So where I was last time was I think I had a snowflake down here to finish, and then I decided I wanted to come up to this top area, and I already had the tree, but what I did is this house, the snowflake, the snowman, and then I finished this house today. There is an error somewhere in this house, but I, for the life of me, can't figure out what I did because everything lines up on the bottom, it lines up over here, it lines up up top, but not with my snowman. So I'm wondering if my snowman's off, but he looked like he lined up. I don't know. So in order to make it even, because I had already stitched the door, I stitched 2 more lengths of the door. So that is 5 stitches wide instead of 3. I don't think it matters. And I'm just going to continue to come up on this border and come down and stitch that way. And I think it'll be fine. You won't even know. But so this is what I've done that little bit, which is progress. So now over here is a reindeer. And what's next? A reindeer and another tree like this one. So that'll be 2 days if I do those 2. And I think that'll be pretty good. And then there's just a small pink house next to it. So those might be my next 3 ones that I do right here, because that seems manageable. Down here is a bigger house, like the biggest house of all, I think. It's like a 2-pronged house, and over here is gonna also be that. So those are gonna be a little bit more stitching. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done before Christmas or by Christmas Eve, but I will get it done this month. Even if I don't, I'll continue working on it. That will be okay until it gets done. And it will be one of my final finishes of the year probably. For my handprint ornaments, because these are also technically a whip, this one is done. So I did get the blanket stitch all the way around. And this is for my youngest, for her little handprint. And this actually takes a really long time because you're going all the way around every single finger. And this is my son's that I'm working on. So I started with an ornament that's mine rather than my sister-in-law's because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing and not make, if I made mistakes, figure out how to fix them. So now that I feel like I've got a good handle on it, I've started on my son's for my sister-in-law. And then I'm gonna get her other 2 done, and then I will work on ours. And I might not get them done by Christmas, but that's okay. As long as these ones are done, I feel like that's what matters. Okay, so now for the official finishes and parade. So I've got a list on my computer of them in order that have some of them have the fabric. I don't recall all of the fabric. If you have a question about any particular one, just leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to look that up for you. So I'm gonna go in order, so I may have to be like finagling to find what I'm looking for. But the first one is Let Us Adore Him by Stitching with the Housewives. And this is on the Paisleys and Polka Dots finishing piece. So last year they released this piece. I immediately bought it and stitched it, and it was super fast to stitch. But I finished it in December, and it's been sitting all year long waiting for me to finish. In fact, I didn't open the box from the wood pieces that I ordered immediately as well until I was ready to finish this like a month ago. So, because this was a huge process. I wish I would have started it sooner, but I'm glad I got it done. I did follow most of the directions that they offered on the video tutorial that they had. I did spray painting. I did not sand and do the other, I don't know what you would call it, the other kinds of finishing. And I also didn't, like, everything you'll see is not covered. I didn't do the back, and then because I wanted it to still kind of have that rustic look and not be completely covered. So I did do 2 coats of the paint though. But I could not get the finishing technique right with the paintbrush that she does. If you've watched any of her videos, it's a distressing look, and I couldn't do it. I tried and it did not look good at all. So I just mixed it and said, this is going to be great. And I love it still. So, the picture of this, I think, is in my cover photo for Flossmas. But this is the first time I'm sharing the official finish on my video. I did not get all of the pieces, but I just grabbed Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus, but I do have all of them done. And I absolutely love this nativity scene and how it plays out. So I now have an entire shelf in my built-ins that is like nativity, along with another section of my house that's nativity, plus the nativity tree that I have. So we're building on the collection of nativity pieces. And there's so many more that I want to do, that I'm going to do, all of that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is All Is Calm by Hands On Design. This is stitched on a Dying to Stitch fabric of the month. It doesn't have a name, but it is very similar to the called for, I feel like. Very variegated and blue, and I think it's actually it's either a 28 or a 32 count, but I want to say it's a 28 count. And this is my finish, and these are not connected, so I'm kind of having to hold them there. Sorry. I haven't decided what I want to do with these. They came with the finishing piece, but they hang like that, and that's not what I want them to do. So I don't know if I want to like glue them like that maybe somehow. I don't know. I haven't figured that out. So we're going to stick them there so I can show you. This piece is from Hobby Lobby? Yeah, Hobby Lobby. And I got it last year, I think. And I just thought it was perfect because all of the greenery was already there. The tags were already there. All of this, I just had to put that on. I like an easy finish. But I stitched this one, or started it last year after the Jingle Ball. Maybe, was this one last year release? I think it was. May have been 2 years ago. And then I finished it up this year though, in Jolly July, I think. So I actually have been holding this piece and haven't put it out in my decor net yet. So now I gotta go figure out where it's gonna fit. It's gonna go somewhere. All right, the next one is my Dashaway Lizzie Kate ornament. This one is for my middle daughter, who is 6. She picked this one. No, this is for the baby. This is for the 3-year-old. And she's not a baby. This is from the finishing pieces from Hobby Lobby. It came in a pack of 4 of these. And I just kind of glued it onto the centerpiece that was in there. Greenery already there. Easy peasy. And it is stitched on a 28 count. I can't even remember. But it's got the glittery stuff. It was not the easiest thing to do. That fabric and I kind of don't get along very well. But it's definitely a super cute finish. And next up we have Nativity Spool by Crafty Blue Bonnet. That's this one. And I haven't decided what I'm going to put here for fully finishing it. If I want to do a bow maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided. But this is one of the cutting boards from Hobby Lobby. This one says ho 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 on the back, but I did not want ho 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 to be on the front. So this one will go on my nativity tree. I now have the 3 white Christmas ornaments from Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is Santa's Mail, Gingerbread, and Snowman. These are the 3 for my son that I finished. And here's the Snowman. This is these wood pieces. I honestly don't know. They came in a pack of 3. That I had them in my stash. They very well could be from Hobby Lobby or from Michael's. But what I did with these is I finished them in a circle finish and put some red rickrack around them just to kind of embellish it. And that was it. I decided not to go with bows, I think, on any of my finishes this year. Just do them a little bit more simplistic. So that's the snowman. And I did all 3 of them the same. This is Santa's mail. And I really actually do love the circle finish. The only thing I don't like is cutting the board or the backing board to put it on, because I don't get the pre-cut stuff. I do it myself. And the gingerbread. So he'll be excited to be able to put these on his tree now. He wanted to go through all of my Christmas patterns last night. He and I stayed home while the girls went to gymnastics with their dad, and we got some laundry done, and I had a little bit of work to do. And then I pulled out all of my Christmas patterns for him to look through, because he wanted to pick out ones for his sisters. So he picked out like what he thought would look good on the fabric, or ones that he thought that they might like, to where they weren't overwhelmed by options. And then when they got home, they each got to pick out 2 patterns that they liked, and he's going to stitch them for Christmas next year, which is adorable. And then it's on purple fabric that he's going to use, and some really pretty blue, like night sky almost fabric. So he's got them. He asked me for some new project bags, so I had some in my stash that were not being used, so I gave him those to put them in. And now he asked me today if I could kit them up today. And I was like, we might have to kit everything up together when you are home, and we can do that as like a thing that we do together. So that was super fun. All right, We Santa 2021 by Lizzie Kate. This is one that my daughter picked out. This is the 6-year-old picked this one out. She tended to pick out the more complex ones that had a lot of stitching in them. But honestly, I loved stitching this piece, and I want to do it again for myself, maybe, because this ornament will eventually fly the coop from my house, and it's going to be on her tree anyway in her room. So I really want this one to be on my tree as well, because he is just stunning. It's on a piece of 32 count color and cotton fabric, but I don't remember the name. I did put the beads and everything in it as well. And this is finished on an ornament. I think this is from Walmart. So 98-cent, just tag ornament for Walmart. So she gets to put that one up. The 2 youngest only have 1 ornament right now finished. The others are in progress, so I just need to get them done, and I will. All right, so for my teacher gifts for the kids, they have been patiently waiting to be boxed up so that I can show them here. I stitched 7 of the Nativity centerpieces from Heart and Hand, the Nativity Tiny Town. And I've showed the finish previously. I stitched them on 32 count fabric with the called for colors that were in my stash for that project that is not done yet. It's on the to-do list. And I've actually seen a lot of people think alike and have this finishing piece. So before I saw anyone else use this piece for some other rounds, I picked it out when I went to Hobby Lobby and was like, let's see if it'll fit. It fit 5 of them, and then 2 of them I had to do differently. So my youngest daughter, who is in like a Mother's Day Out program, she has 2 teachers. They're going to get a different version of this. And then the teachers at my kids' school are getting the official version. So this is a finishing piece from Hobby Lobby. If you've not seen it already, I'm sure you probably have, because I've seen it used. So great minds think alike. And so I just put them on a circle as a circle finish in the middle. And then I did put backing fabric on them because these are gifts. I wanted them to be as nice as possible. So I'd sandwiched the 2 pieces together, glued them in there, and then the trickiest part was getting them to fit in there. But I made it work. So I have 5 of these that are going to be flying off to their homes Thursday and Friday. Their class parties are for my youngest Thursday, and then my older 2 are on Friday. So I'm just tickled with this finish. I love it. Thank you, Hobby Lobby, for some great finishing pieces. So for the younger 2, I had to then go find some finishing pieces. So this is a tag ornament, probably from, I want to say Michael's, that I got. So just put it on there, and it says Joy. So oddly enough, they all say Joy. I don't know how that happened, because this was in my stash, and I was just looking for something that would fit. And then I found this one that also says Joy. So it is the cutting board from Hobby Lobby, but it already said Joy. So this one I did want the Joy to show. So those are going to go to my youngest daughters. And we have 2 more. So the next one is All Is Calm by Plumstreet Samplers. This was from the Chantel's 141 design, her Christmas box last year. This is by Plumstreet Samplers, stitched on 36 count stream by Fiber on a Whim because the called for was out of stock. So I found this one and loved it. I did finish it on the board from Chantel that came in the box. And then I added the pom-pom trim around it just for some embellishment. I started this one last year and then finished it this year, but I'm super happy with that finish and just with this piece in general. So I can't wait to put it up and add it to one of the few empty spots in my tree. All right, the final one is a recent finish. This is going to be a gift that's going to be flying off to its recipient probably Thursday when I can get to the post office. This is Very Merry by Lizzie Kate. It is from the Just Cross Stitch Ornament 2017 magazine. This is on a sled from Hobby Lobby as well, but I got it in 2020 is what the date is. So it's been a while, but it had everything already on there. So I just added the piece and all this embellishment was already there. Super, super cute and a great little gift. So those are all of my finishes. So I forgot one of the ornaments that I finished. This is, I think I didn't put it on my list, which is why I forgot it. But this is from Primrose Cottage Stitches. It is, I can't remember the name, something tree. And so I stitched this one this year in Jolly July, I believe. And I finished it as a stand-up, but with I glued 2 pieces of backing together, and that's the back. And then I did the trim around it, and I also inserted this little tree, which is finished the way that I did Jack Frost's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks, Country Cottage Needleworks, I think. And so this is a picture holder actually that I stuck in there, and I actually I glued it in there, so I probably could eventually figure out how to move it, but it's not movable right now. So either this one can be a stand-up or I can hang it on the tree. I think I am going to try to hang it on the tree, but I completely forgot this piece, but I needed to share it because this one took some time to finish as well, as I was doing a triangle finish and trying to get the right angles on it, and yeah, math. It's a little bit hard, and geometry was not my strength. But final ornament finish for this video. I am now going to insert my son showing all of his finishes. He had a lot of fun talking about them, and he showed out some of his imperfections, but honestly, he just has done so great that I really wanted him to focus on like how well they've turned out and how he was able to make like changes to them that are more personalized, and I think he did that. He kind of talks a little bit about his process, so I hope you enjoy this next segment where he is showcasing his finishes and his gifts, and he does have one whip that he is also going to showcase in this part.
Hello!
This is Tristan. He's back to show you his Christmas finishes that are FFO'd, ready for gifting. All right, what do you want to share first?
Let's share this one first. Okay, so the first thing I want to say about it is if you see the T, it's scrunched in with the S and the M. Someone caught me on that. Thank you to the person who caught me on that.
So when he shared it before, and as a finish in one of the previous videos, it was Christmas, not T-mas. You forgot the T. And so we had a very kind commenter who said, just in case you wanted to catch this, I think the T's missing, and neither one of us had caught it. So thank you for catching that for us. All right.
This is for my aunt.
Let's hold it up tight. So who is that?
Snoopy and Woodstock.
And she loves Snoopy.
Last year I created a different one. I made it all on my own. It was a house, a Christmas tree, a snowman. Then there was like a little window. We put Snoopy in the window. I designed that whole thing.
And then this one you followed a pattern.
Yeah.
In a book that I think I got at an estate sale. And then he got to choose the words. They had a lot of different words that you could put in, and he chose these words to put in it. And then it's stitched on, I think, 14 count green Aida. And then on the back, we found this fabric that Michael's was supposed to have, but they were out, so I had to find it on Etsy and get it shipped.
She got 2 different ones.
I did. Just in case I couldn't find this one, but this one was Christmassy and we wanted Christmassy.
And it says made with love 2025.
Yes, so I'll show the pins a little bit closer. So we put the pins on there and covered it up. He stuffed it all by himself as well. I got him
just
involved
today
to stuff it, and then we just put the felt on the back. So that is for his aunt. All right, what's next?
I want to show the one with my uncle. This one, I think I've also showed on working, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
And this one too that I just showed you. But okay, this one my mom had already started. And I found it because she gave me all these kits. There's these different kits she gave me, and I picked them out to use as gifts. And so I used this one. I was thinking about using it for my pop-up, but then I found another one that I'll show in just a little while that it says navy, so
instead you decided for that one.
This one is for my uncle,
who was in the Air Force.
Who was?
Yes. And let's talk about the finish. And it's stitched on white 14 count Aida, and it's stitched in just a regular hoop with some felt in the back, and there's a little bit of
felt
stuffing in there just to make it nice and keep the blue from showing through on the white. So they can put a ribbon on it if they want it to be an ornament, or they will probably hang it up all year round, which is how they do the gifts that they are given from the littles.
Okay. This is a snowman. We almost had a problem with him a minute ago. This one, he did have a mistake. His hat, if you notice, it looks like it's like coming off of him a little bit.
I don't think so.
It looks like it's kind of blowing away. It's one too wide and one too tall, so we
make adjustments.
We worked around with it, and also there were some problems down here. Still worked around with it.
Yeah, you can't tell. It still looks like a snowman. It's super cute. So this finishing piece is actually from Bed Bath & Beyond. It was in my stash, and it fits absolutely perfectly on there. And so then we put it on sticky board. This is the one that you did on, is this on 18 count or is this on 20?
18.
Yeah, this one's on
20.
This one's on 20?
Yeah.
20 count Aida. So he picked out the Aida that he wanted to use that he had in his stash that he's received.
Yeah, because I have received so many. I have like at least 50 different ones.
From a very, very dear friend who sent him a very kind gift package.
So thank you if you are watching this video.
Yes, I love that. So he chose the 20 count. It came with 14 count in the kit, or maybe 16 count, but he decided he wanted to do the 20 count. So because it's so small, it fits perfectly. And then we just put some ribbon. And I did actually do fabric glue on this one, so not hot glue.
And also, one other thing I want to share. At the bottom, I went like in, out, down, like a staircase.
For the back stitch?
Yeah, which it was supposed to be like the other side where it goes down at first and then it goes like that. So I just worked around that. I decided to do 2 on this side. If you notice, I did 2 stitches for each one. So.
And then you learned how to do French knots for the mouth.
Yeah.
That was a new stitch. And that one is for who?
Nana.
Who has an obsession with snowmen. Good job.
Mama, can you scratch this?
All right, so this is the navy one.
This is the navy one that I was talking about when I was showing my uncles. One thing I want to share about this is.
I'll hold it. You talk.
If you notice, away is not spelled A-W-A-Y. I lost my picture, and so it was A-W-A-Y. So we looked it up online. And I said, why does it say A-W-E-I-G-H? And we looked it up, and we figured out that that was wrong. And then my pop-up, we went to dinner with him after church, and we
secretly
asked. Yeah, we secretly asked, how do you spell away in the Navy? He said AWEIGH. And so one time we like to work on cross-stitch gymnastics, and so my mom fixed it.
We took and thankfully there was a picture where someone else had already spelled it correctly. So the pattern called for away, AWAY, and then someone else had on just Google.
That's kind of what I just said.
It is. So we just found that, and then I used that to center it and stitch it that way. So this is on, I think this was 14 count white Aida, and this is a frame that is perfect with the rope look from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a 5x7 frame that it fits in.
And also one other thing, we didn't know what this gold stuff was. We thought it was just like for a design. The anchor was kind of messed up too.
There's some fuzz on it. There we go.
Yeah, the anchor was definitely messed up just a little bit, but there's no way I'm ever going to be able to see that. This, we didn't know what it was, but then we figured out it was
the rope, I think? Yeah. All right, one last finish.
Two. Well, one last finish and a whip.
And a whip.
This one is the first one that I did. I showed you this before. I have not showed you the finish with the present in the tree. So I did a pattern. I decided to do the balloon since I saw that his hand was sticking out. The balloon, I actually think I did kind of good because it was like a little bumpy. And I made a balloon. It didn't come with that. I found a red, a blue, and a green. Then I did red in the middle and out on the outline. And I made the balloon. So, and he was a little too fat. So, my dad gave some advice to either work around it or to work with it. And my mom I said to work with it because I was not going to take out how much I had already done. And so my mom thankfully came in and she helped me work around it. So I was able to finish. And in case you hear background noise, it's just my younger sister.
So this is finished on a wood piece that is probably from Michael's, I think, that I painted. And this is a wood tree also that we painted and glued on there. And so he chose the finishing for this and decided how he wanted it to look. And I just put it together. All right, so now we have a whip.
Doing pretty good on it.
Making progress, yeah.
This is what it is going to turn into. It is going to be a sleigh. I found this online on my mom's tablet or whatever it's called.
Tablet?
Yeah, tablet. So
if I can find the link, I will link it below. It was just a website that I found it, or that he found it on, that I was able to purchase it from, and he is stitching this for himself.
My mom printed it off.
Yes.
I really liked it.
Fabric
and this is how far I've gone, and I think this is like 16 count.
I think it is. Let's put that behind so you can see it. And it's some fabric that was gifted to him. So it's got the sparkly, I can't remember the name of it, but
it's called the Night Sky.
Oh, good job. And sparkles, and he has been completely doing this by himself on the pattern.
Because this is the one that my mom taught me how to stitch. Number one, how to secure it with stuff that is already on there, like stitching, and then later on she taught me how to do it on my own. So if you notice this red stuff right here, I did that because Mommy taught me how to do it. Yeah. So I did that on the way home from somewhere, and so
he does a lot of car stitching. Yeah,
I love it.
From school. All right, so then we did a little craft. They were watching their movie last night with Nana and Pop-Up for our traditional Polar Express. And so while they were doing their movie, Mommy and Nana were crafting. And we got this idea from Nicole Spoor, who showed this on her video recently. Make sure you can read it right. Yep, I think you're
Read
good.
it?
Yes. So he today did his version of it. And happy holidays. And so these are just on keychain that I already had. I had everything for these already. I'd purchased the letters, everything. So it was like Nicole showed this tutorial in her Flosstube, and I ran away with it. Made some gifts.
We have one more guest who's going to show her version of this that I just showed you.
All right, you want to show what you did?
What's your name?
Hold on. All right, everyone. Sorry if we're making you dizzy.
What's your name?
I think we know who she is by now. All right, now we can see you, so show us what you made.
I made this and
For yours, we want to hold this way, I think.
I made this and it says joy
Nope, you were right.
and it
There we go.
and it says joy to the world, and then I put two. So first I put these little beads on it, then I put joy to the world, then I put two more beads on it, then I put two, then I put more beads on it, then I said then I put more beads on it, then said world, and then I put two more beads and said my name Kenzie, and then I put two more beads on the last one.
And you're making yours as an ornament, right?
And I'm making mine as an ornament.
So you're gonna like turn it around? How are you
And then
gonna?
she's got a pretty dress on for church tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so let us say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
All right, to wrap up this video, I wanted to share about my Flosstuber highlight and then do the question of the episode for the giveaway. So my Flosstuber highlight is Mandy Mead Stitches. She is a young mom as well, and she has so many stitches that she is doing and working on in different designers and finishes. I always enjoy checking in with her and seeing what she is working on and finishing. So give her channel some love and check out all of the things that she's doing. For my question of the episode, for the giveaway, please be 18, like, subscribe, answer the question below, and be a U.S. U.S. resident, sorry. And answer the question below, and I will be drawing for these giveaways probably on Monday, so Monday the 22nd. So try to comment before, like, by Monday the 21st. That should be my wrap-up video for Flossmas. All right, so today I wanted to, in honor of the U.S. 250th birthday, I know there's a lot of sales going along for stitching patriotic pieces, so I wanted to share this Brenda Gervais Liberty, Land of Liberty design. This is actually on my 2-stitch pile, so I have not stitched this one yet, but I do have a duplicate pattern. So the question of the day is, what is the oldest ornament on your tree? And that can be cross stitch or just in general. I don't actually know what my oldest cross stitch pattern would be. Probably dating back to 2006, but I do have some pattern or some pieces that I have rescued that were probably stitched in the 80s. So I've got 2 or 3 of those that I found at estate sales. So that's technically would probably be the oldest ones, but of the stitched ones that I've done, it would probably be in the early 2000s is when I started kind of stitching more of the smaller pieces. And then for our main tree, I have pieces that are from when I was a kid. Like one of you probably will see it in the Nativity tree, that video of my tree, the Nativity tree, because I put some other pieces on there that aren't stitching. It is just this little wooden piece that's got a wooden baby Jesus and a little star that's hanging on. Let me grab it. So I don't know what year I made this as a kid, but it's got my name on it on the back, and my mom gave me a bunch of my ornaments. So it's just super sweet and simple, but it just reminds me of hanging this on my tree as a kid. And I hope that my kids, our tree currently has all ornaments that either they've picked out or they've made. They've got handprints, fingerprints, crafts that they've done, pictures of them. We get them an ornament every year that they get to pick out for their yearly ornament. So they've got those. Those will all, my husband will probably not like this, but I'm sure he's going to let them take them with them when they leave. But that will be very sad because it's just covered with all of those things. So just these the personalized trees and ornaments truly are the best. So this is one of the oldest ones that I have. I think some of my husband's ornaments from when he was a kid are on there as well. So those are probably maybe a little bit older because he's a little bit older than me. But yeah, I'm just curious, what is like the oldest piece that you have ornament hanging on your tree, whether that's stitched or personal. I hope everyone has a great week. I will ideally be back here on Friday just for another very, very quick check-in. We are going out of town actually on Friday after we pick the kids up, but I will share more about that in my next video. So I hope everyone's having a great week, enjoying all of the Christmas and getting a lot of stitching in. Bye.